I'm buying a strata property. What should I look out for? When you're buying a strata property, the number one thing to ask is, do you have a pre-prepared strata report? Ask the agent this question. If they have a pre-prepared strata report available for you, you can buy that report. Generally, it might cost you $29 or $79 or a couple $100. And a pre-prepared strata report means you could buy the report, access it through a link, and then read it straight away. So you can ask the real estate agent whether they have this available. If they don't have a strata report available, then you can ask for the annual general meeting minutes. So you want the most recent AGM minutes available. So the vendor or owner will regularly receive these AGM minutes via email or post, depending on how good they are at their record keeping and whether they throw those pesky things in the bin or they keep them and look after them as a good record keeper. You may or may not be able to get that from the agent. If you can't get either of those, the next step is to order or arrange an independent strata report. When we're trying to order one of these, we need to get an authority letter from the vendor's solicitor or conveyancer or the real estate agent or managing agent so that the strata inspector that prepares the strata report can arrange a strata records inspection where they will either physically go to the office of the strata manager and look at the records, take copies, and put them in the report, or they'll get an electronic link or portal where they can access all the records available for strata. They will look at financial records, they'll look at harmony, so history of what's been happening in strata. Has there been any neighbor disputes or anything like that? They'll look at defects and look at if there's any remedial works or things going on with the building. An important factor when you're looking at all this is considering the condition of the building. If a strata building is under 6 years old, this generally sits within the 6-year defect liability period in which the strata or owners can make a claim against the builder or developer for any defects. This process can happen in a number of ways, but what generally happens is within the first 6 years, a defect report is prepared. So Strata will agree to order and arrange an independent inspection of the building and have a look at all the defects. After this, those defects may be claimed against the builder or developer. Litigation and the engagement of a solicitor could be part of this process, as well as going to NCAT or the other tribunals and administrative bodies to be able to make a claim to get these things fixed. As you can understand, when you're buying strata property, it's so important to know what is happening with strata. If the building's older than 6 years old, defects are born and managed by the owners. So therefore, it's a different process. Every strata building rides on its own merits. There are multiple strata managers and so many different ways that strata are managed. It's important to get good advice and review these documents carefully because you're buying into the strata. If you've liked this content, please like, follow, or subscribe on the channel you're watching on. Thanks.